Welcome back to 101 Questions that Church Planners Ask. I'm your host, Danny Parmalee. And here's a question I often get. Should my church plant use a credit card or a debit card? Okay, Dave Ramsey, I know you're a loyal listener and subscriber to my podcast, so I'm going to need you to plug your ears for a moment because I suggest to all the church planners I coach to get a credit card over a debit card. Let me explain why. First of all, with a debit card, when you are hacked, your card is stolen and used fraudulently, that money actually leaves your account. It's gone. And yes, this has happened to me personally. So, for example, if you have $1,000 in your account and a thief takes $900, you've got $100 left over, meaning that if you have any purchases or auto drafts, it's going to trigger this domino effect of bounced checks. This is going to cost you more money and possibly be embarrassing as checks are bouncing. So now most banks do have fraud protection even on debit cards. So you'll get a certain amount of that money back, but potentially some of the fees from the other banks you'll lose, and you do not get back your time. With a credit card, even if it's stolen or fraudulently used, you can call your credit card company and get your statement adjusted before money ever leaves your account. Now, the second advantage of using a credit card is that it helps to manage your cash flow a bit because you've got a month in between purchases. Not that you should be living on razor's edge, but it does give you at least a little bit of space between like giving and deposits being made and bills being paid. Thirdly, credit cards tend to have the best reward programs. And there are two that I particularly like, and that is airline miles cards and cash back. Now, let me give you an important warning and caution here. You have to be very careful on how you use these rewards, how they're used, issued, or distributed. It can be a major conflict of interest if you're the lead pastor of a church and you're receiving rewards based on spending. So this is what I suggest, that if you use cashback rewards program, that money goes directly into the church account. You never touch it. The Chase Business Card is great because it has up to 5% on certain types of purchases, and many of them that are ones that planters use. Now, with an airline miles card, the ideal way to use those are specifically for ministry-related travel. For example, they could be used on a missions trip, or even those airline miles could be used to go to a church planting conference like Exponential or Unleash. But you have to be very careful with this because you don't want to create the perception at all that you're spending money frivolously just so that you can get the benefit. So this is why I probably prefer cash back than it goes directly to the church. There's never any question there. Fourthly, credit cards often come with rental car coverage. It's just this added bonus so that when you are traveling, you don't have to buy the extra insurance when the rental car company people try to scare you into buying their overpriced coverage. So my biggest warning about to a church planter in using a credit card is to make sure that you use it for the tool of purchasing and not for credit. By that I mean that you should only purchase what you can pay for and pay off immediately without tapping into any of the credit and owing interest. So Dave Ramsey, if you're still listening, hope that heals your bleeding ears. Finally, I found that credit cards are great for record keeping. So some of the debit cards, of course, they can have that as well too, but just not as much as the credit cards do. So my two favorite credit cards are the Chase Business Inc. and the Chase Southwest Airlines card. I have links for both of them in the blog if you want to link to those. So I hope that this helps you. If you have any more practical questions like this, please submit them to churchplantersask.com. And until next time, keep asking those questions.